Hi guys, Matt Lloyd here, founder of MOBE. So right now we are in Jamaica. We've just got done attending a high-level marketing mastermind with MOBE, training a lot of entrepreneurs. And one of those entrepreneurs is Tony Ashbolt from close to London. And he was just telling me his story about his existing business and how he was able to take what he's learned at MOBE so far in the last, how long's it been, about a year?
Just over a year, yeah.
Okay, what he's been able to take, what he learned at MOBE, applied it to his existing business, and he's just got this incredible story. He now has a business that has given him time freedom, is a lot more lucrative, it's a lot more stress-free, and I'll let him tell the story. But first of all, Tony, if you could just tell our viewers, what is your existing business and what does it do?
Okay, cool. Well, as Matt's already said, my name's Tony Ashbolt and I'm the founder of Connaught Corporate Solutions. We're a wealth management strategy company based in the UK that looks after tax mitigation and asset protection for business owners and high net worth individuals. I founded the company back in 2005, and whenever you're setting any business up, getting clients is key. Keeping them is even more important. But when you're starting with nothing, and when I go back 11 years, I had no clients. We had to start from scratch. So it meant buying lists of names of accountants, buying sets of accounts of successful businesses. I then had to employ telesales people. I then had to spend an absolute fortune on mail shots. And then what was happening is I'm just spending a ton of money. These telesales people are then sending me here, there and everywhere all over the UK, because telesales, the way they work, they just want to put you in front of people. They don't care.
So they would get paid a commission.
Correct.
And you're driving around to all these leads that aren't really qualified to be working with.
You're exactly right. It was very much more a blunderbuss approach than a laser approach, if you like. Sure. So I know my numbers because before I came out here, I actually looked over 11 years. I've done the same meeting. So I do the same presentation. I've done that about 1,700 times. So I'll do about 3 of those a week, and that will mean an hour driving there, an hour doing the meeting, an hour. So I've driven over 154,000 miles to attend these meetings over 11 years. Now, this started to do a couple of things. It started to affect my health, okay? It started to affect the amount of time I spent with my children and my family. And it all came to a head when I had a suspected heart attack. So I realized something had to change. And by luck, would you believe it? I met your company.
How did you first come across MOBE?
Okay, well, I look after 2 of your very, very successful affiliates.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
So when I looked at what these guys were earning and how they were living their lives, and I looked at me, now we do all right, but these guys were doing all right and will be stress-free. So I spoke to both of them and they told me exactly what they did. So I took a slightly different approach. I bought into MOBE, I bought into the whole thing. I positioned myself at Diamond from day one. I didn't actually plan to promote MOBE. What I wanted to use was I wanted to use the products and services that MOBE provided. Yep. And there were a lot less then than there are now. Okay. Right? But I applied it to my own business. Right. Okay. Now this to me was absolutely key. I'd never done anything like webinars before. I'd never advertised. Okay. Right, so suddenly I've produced, and this is all from a result of MOBE training, right? Okay. So I've produced 2 webinars, one for accountants, one for entrepreneurs. Okay. With that, we've attached a very, very specific questionnaire that when somebody watches the webinar, they have to fill out a questionnaire afterwards to then gain access to an automated diary that is set to when I'm free, not them. So they select that time, and then everything is done on Skype. Okay. So
no more driving.
There's no more nothing. People. Right? There's no more telesales. Right. There's no more buying lists. I now advertise on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Facebook. Very, very direct market. I only work with people because people come to me now. So instead of being the hunter, I've now become the hunted. So my phone kind of goes 2 or 3 times a day, or we get emails to say, I've seen your webinar. We filled out the questionnaire. Can we talk?
Now, is this a live webinar or a recording?
No, it's just recorded. I just let it run.
Okay, so that's a webinar that you did, and
Yeah.
those of you watching, I assume you know what a webinar is. It's basically an online workshop. So you've recorded that, now that's playing on autopilot. Is that every night?
Just every night, yeah. What I did, I sat down with a reporter,
Yep.
and I got a reporter to interview me and ask me questions that people would ask about planning. And then, so we did one for accountants, because accountants have clients that want to introduce me, and then we've got business owners just like you, that have their own tax issues that sometimes they don't share that with their accountant because their accountants aren't qualified to do that. So guys like you are looking for people like me. Now, you are very few and far between. Successful guys that make big money are few and far between. But if they can find you on the internet, it saves an awful lot of time, effort and energy. And that has done a number of things for me. Using the MOBE processes and techniques has meant that I've got my life back. My health is a million light years from where it was. Everything's under control now, which is great. Productivity in my business has gone up by over 100%. Wow. We were doing high six figures. We're now doing over 7 figures. And I'm really pleased. And I also want to thank you, because without MOBE and everything that you've put together, I don't even know if I'd be here.
That's great. That's really great.
So thank you. And I say, if I can shake your hand, because it means a lot. What you've put together has meant an awful lot. And if you're watching this here and you've got your own business, forget about the promotion of MOBE. Just by using everything they have for building businesses, for getting laser-driven target. If you want to build a website, or you want to build a database, or you want to work with the right clients, then MOBE definitely has the products and services. And I wholeheartedly endorse everything about it.
So it sounds like your old business, before you got MOBE training and you started applying direct response marketing tactics and advertising online, sounds like you were chasing after the leads constantly. Your telemarketing team would set up the appointment, like you said, you would drive all the way to them.
Yep.
What kind of close rate did you have at that point? For every appointment, what percentage would you close?
It would be 1 in 5.
1 in 5. So 4 of them were a waste of time usually.
Because the market is, not everybody makes the kind of numbers that I need to make the planning work.
Okay, and you didn't have any filtering process in place except what the telemarketing rep wanted you.
Yeah,
okay, great.
Nothing.
So then it sounds like you put in place an actual sales funnel, a real customer acquisition process that would pre-screen, pre-filter these leads, position you in the process so that by the time they get to you, they see you as a high value consultant.
Absolutely.
Not someone who's getting in a car, driving an hour to come and see them. It's kind of like if you go to a doctor, you're waiting in the waiting room to see the doctor. They don't come and see you. You make an appointment with them and you're on their team, on their time. So yeah, we do encourage business owners to do that, to create positioning and to have a filtering process, so you're only talking to the very most qualified leads. Where did you learn how to do that, Tony?
Okay, in a couple of places. I learned it with the online training, which was excellent. But I also came to the Titanium seminar in Phuket.
The Titanium Mastermind?
Correct, the Titanium Mastermind, where obviously I'd bought some extra time with you and Stephen Bransfield. And I learned about how to do webinars there. I've never done one in my life. And it's what I learned in those 5 days had a massive impact on my business.
So you took that and then you applied that to your existing business. Okay, now you said to me before, your business, before you started learning how to market and filter the leads properly, you were doing high 6 figures. So you were already quite successful. But you also said to me that you were just putting in a lot of time and your health was suffering as a consequence.
Absolutely. I could be working anything from 6 to 80 hours a week. 60 to 80, and that's a lot of time. And
that's six days a week.
Yeah, that's 6 days a week, right? And I was flat out. And unfortunately, I love my fishing, I love my golf, I love my kids and my partner, and all of those were suffering, and my health.
Right.
So I had to make a significant change.
And now your business today, how's it doing?
It's great. I now get Fridays off for fishing. Wednesday afternoons I play golf with my buddies. The business has, I've had a 100% turnover increase in 12 months.
So you've more than doubled it?
Yeah. And
more than doubled, wow.
And that, I've also got my life back. I've got my health back. My handicap's coming down. So it's because I've got the right work-life balance now.
Right.
Yep. but I'm only dealing with very, very qualified people that I'm no longer chasing. And when you're no longer chasing clients, it's a reverse psychology. The people, you could charge what, I could charge what I liked. I still do it very fairly, but I could, because I am being sought.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm very specialised.
So now when you talk to someone, they're now seeing the value you have. They're making an appointment to talk to you. So before the MOBE training, you said that you would drive out to 5 different prospects, go to their place on their time, and maybe get 1 out of 5 who would actually end up doing a deal with you.
Yeah.
Now when you have an appointment where they're coming to you and they've been pre-screened, pre-filtered, they've seen your webinar during your sales funnel, how many would you need to talk to now to have a sale?
I close 90% of them now.
90%
Yeah,
of them now.
it's a very high closure rate.
Okay, that's great.
It's
That's
brilliant.
really good.
I love it.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's great. So Tony, if there's any business owner out there and they're looking at the MOBE education, the MOBE training, whether it's training on how to get more leads, how to create proper sales funnels or customer acquisition process like you have, and they're thinking about investing in our training, despite whatever business or field they're in, what advice would you give to that person?
Okay, it's the same advice that Warren Buffett gives you about investing. He uses 2 words: do it.
Okay,
Right.
do it.
That is exactly what I took on board. You do not need to have a ton of IT skills or be a genius with a computer, because the online training that I went through is step by step. You just watch and do, watch and do. And then I just outsourced that to other people. I wanted to know how it worked, but it's so straightforward and it's common sense.
Yeah.
You know, you can automate your whole world online. You can automate your business. So if you're thinking about doing this, absolutely, absolutely yes.
Excellent. Well, I just want to thank you for being a client. I appreciate you, and I always love hearing these stories.
Yeah.
You went from 6 figures to 7 figures, and you're making a lot more money now, but you're working a lot less.
Less.
You've got your life back.
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
All right. Well, thanks, Tony. I appreciate
Thank you, Matt.
And anyone else out there watching this, if you're a business owner, you feel like you're working too much and you're getting underpaid and you want to get your life back, invest in MOBE education. We teach you real strategies that will help you have a more lucrative, fun business where you will actually work less, but also be able to help a lot more people and also make a lot more money in the process. We'll speak soon.